All right, everybody, it's Brandon Clayman from Conscious Commerce. We are going to get started with our marketing advertising presentation this month. We do these once a month. We're starting them up again, which is fantastic. And we're starting with what I know best, which is email marketing, 30 ways to grow your list. A little bit about me, 25 years in digital, 15 years operating Conscious Commerce, #1 global agency for constant contact. And we are certified with them. We have also a certified partnership with Google. Some of the results that we've created over the years working with our awesome clients. And that's some of my information. There's a bit of an issue with that slide. We'll have to fix that later, but you're talking to Brandon Clayman. And here's my team, my awesome team of partner alliance leaders. Each and every one of these people work very hard and consciously to create the results that we receive from all the campaigns we've been running. So some of you probably know Jennifer and have interacted with Jacob, and there's some other new members who have joined recently. We've had Russell join us, who is an expert with search engine optimization, specifically backlinking. And then we have Rebecca, who recently joined as a copywriter, so we now offer that as a service. And just in case you didn't know, here's a little bit more of who we are overall in terms of the services that we focus on within the brand of our MAP. So Market, Advertise, Promote is what that stands for. We are recording this webinar, so you will receive a copy of it, and we will be able to give you that after the event. And welcome, everybody. This will probably go for about 35, 40 minutes. We can open up for questions. If you have any questions throughout, just raise your hand on this chat app, or just give us the question through the chat, and we'll go from there. So #1, let's just dive right into it. What we're doing here within the context of this presentation is my role is to help you come up with ideas on how to grow your email marketing list. There's lots of ways to do it. I'm going to go through 30 of them right now. And again, if you have questions, just ask using the chat. So the first one is, if you're in any environment, set yourself up with a paper sign-up sheet, email, first name, last name, and keep it simple. Try to also incorporate something in there along the lines of an offer, or why would they join, just like a quick sentence in this piece of paper that people are signing up with. And at the end of a month, you can take that and just add it to the database manually. #2, ask for face-to-face on the phone. So if you're speaking with somebody, if you've got a prospect on the phone, or you have a new client who you're onboarding, just simply ask them, would you like to join my newsletter? We do this once a month. We offer these promotions or these events, and be clear with your communication and languaging, and be consistent with that when you are asking. And then when you get their permission, go ahead and just add them into your database, or have a little Excel file open. And so then you can, at the end of the month, you can import them prior to you sending out your campaign. Just curious, just to get some feedback while we're going through this webinar, how many of you regularly use email marketing? If you just raise your hand on this chat app, I just want to make sure that you can interact with me a little bit, or use the chat window. Just let me know if that's something you do, and that'd be great. #3, start with people you know. Ask your contacts, your colleagues, your family. That's fine. When you're just getting started, if you're running a business for the first time, you got to do it. You got to reach out and do the best you can to get in front of your contacts, colleagues, in any which way that you can, but specifically people you know. They're a little warmer, a little bit more open, receptive, and open to receiving your communications. #4, if you're in retail or restaurant, use a sidewalk sign. I was just walking by yesterday a client down 17th Ave here in Calgary, and they have their sidewalk sign out front, but they didn't have their newsletter call to action on there. So it's something that I think is a good idea. And as long as you can focus on some kind of incentivizing, stay connected with our specials or promotions or special events or anything of that nature, that would be really good to do. Number 5, participate in Small Business Week in Canada, and then there's Small Business Saturday in the United States. And what you want to do there is just really just reach out, get connected with the community. The small business local communities are always networking and being able to just give you the opportunity to reach out. And just when you're doing that kind of networking, and you could have a a vendor booth at an event, ask for their email address. Number 6, offer an incentive to your employees. So if you have a larger organization and you're looking to get more engaged employees in your world, provide an incentive. So, offer a prize to an employee who collects the most email address, and that's good because they have all their contacts in their Outlook or Google programs that they're using, your email client. So this could be a really great way to consolidate and grab as many emails as you can from all of the employees or in your larger organization, or even if you're in a smaller group, because you can't really control like individual interactions with all of like from your employees or your contractors to all of your clients, prospects. So ideally what you want to do is incentivize employees. And as well, this is another thing, if you have a large organization, encourage your own employees to sign up to the newsletter so that they get the communications and they know exactly what they're asking people to sign up to. Number 7, promote a sign up link on social media. How many of you are consistently doing social media? You can raise your hand or use the chat window. There's lots of spaces and places on all social channels to be doing this. And I think it's all part and parcel of a best practice to make sure that you're getting some exposure to your newsletter opt-in process and getting people to focus on that and getting more opt-ins. The thing with social is that you don't own that data. Anything on Facebook stays on Facebook, and there's nothing you can do about it unless you do this. And ideally, what you're trying to do is get people um, into your opt-in pages, your landing pages, to sign up to your direct database. So that now you have their contact information, you can activate some automation campaigns and work towards nurturing those relationships more effectively than you could on social, because email marketing is definitely a proven channel. It's been around for 30 years. Incredible ROI with email marketing. It's going to continue to be successful. So what you want to do is, if you have a lot of followers on Facebook, try your best to get them opting into your newsletter. Deepen that relationship. Here's a little bit more on that. So you can install, there's an app for that. You can install a Facebook app. You can also do the call to action on the Facebook button. So you have to look at all of your meaningful metrics, things that are important to you, whether it's a booking for an appointment or join your newsletter, place a phone call, find you take advantage of that booking button, the add a button feature, the call to action button on your Facebook business page. And then you can link directly to an opt-in form or an internal app that you have that's already installed on your Facebook page. Now, when you send a newsletter, you will receive, in most programs, in Constant Contact, that's one of them, that has a tiny URL, like a smaller, shortened URL of your newsletter. And ideally, what you want to do with that to get expanded reach is take that link and publish it as a post on your social channels as far as wide as you can. And that way, you're going to expand your reach and possibly get more signups, because people will be reading this valuable content that you're spending a lot of time curating, creating, and producing, designing, and publishing, and getting it out there with your authentic voice. And ideally, what you want is for as many people as possible to read this. And then, of course, if they find that it's valuable, then make sure that you have inside of your newsletter a button that says subscribe to this newsletter so that they can go ahead and do that as well. Number 11, on that same tone and note, if you've published your newsletter on social, you could boost that post. It's easy to do. Anyone can do this. You just simply go in, set up your ad account on Facebook, and then just boost the post. And what you want from that, again, is expand your reach. Get past your existing audience, get into other audiences, change the geography. You can do a lot inside of Facebook and as well with Google, but specifically here with Facebook, you can take that newsletter, especially if you have a copywriter and they're taking the time to really come up with some compelling copy. Maybe it's got some viral attributes to it, and what you want to do is essentially just get it out there as far and wide as possible. You don't have to promote this for the entire month. You can just do like 2 or 3 days. You can spend 20 bucks, 30 bucks, and then it really just helps to boost the exposure. Brand awareness is also part of that. So you do get some indirect benefit as well. Add an opt-in form to your website. This is just basic stuff, but a lot of people might overlook it. And I think that it's important to make sure that the form is functioning on your website, it's capturing the right information, and that it's also tying into an offer. You want to look at how do you get somebody opting into any of your systems, lead pages, landing pages, whatever you've got out there. You need to look at how to incentivize. And today, people are reluctant even more to disclose their private information. An email address is a private piece of data that's part of their identity. So what are you going to do in exchange for that? What can you give them? So that's part of the strategy when you're doing an opt-in form, or anything for that matter, when you're collecting an email address. Promote your newsletter on blogs. You can also promote the actual sign up link. So if you have a link directly to your landing page or to your opt-in page, you want to be publishing this as far and wide as possible. So if you're blogging, you can do it there. If you're commenting on blogs or you're commenting in social media feeds and you're interacting, let's say you're on LinkedIn and you're doing some B2B marketing and you want to connect on a group, then inside of the group, then you can publish the link to sign up to your newsletter. And that way, when they sign up, you're giving them the chance, the opportunity to give you express consent. By that, I mean they simply understand that they are joining your newsletter. They have given you permission to do so. They're supplying you with information, and they're opting in the legal way. In Canada and the United States, and now in Europe, we have some rigid, strict standards around data privacy, collection of that data. What are we doing with that data? And we all probably got bombarded just a couple months ago with a whole bunch of like GDPR emails and reconfirming our consent. And all these websites now have all of these agreements, popping up in our faces. It's just become a norm now. So ultimately, we are really focused, especially when you're doing professional email marketing, to get people's permission. If you're buying lists, it's not a good idea. Even if they're purchased and people have given consent to be marketing to, it's still not a good idea because your performance won't be very effective. You can also share past emails. So if you go back into your reporting, or if you get on a call with me and we look at some of the past reporting, and we can see that some of those emails had huge click-through rates or really good open rates. You can even track social sharing that takes place. And what you'd want to do is just redistribute that same email from the past so that you can get some remarketing in place around some content that isn't aging. It's still relevant to today. I'm not talking about sharing past promotions. I'm talking specifically about like top 10 articles or best practices that you might be sharing. Depends on your business model. I know for Ruth, for example, she could have created an article of the top 10 travel tips for Japan, for example. That's a place that she frequents and does tours to. And so that could be something that's timely, and you can repurpose it, redistribute that, and then because these links to all these emails are still out there, and again, if they get to that old email, they'll be able to then subscribe to the list. So again, you want to look at doing that through a variety of different channels as far and wide as you can. A network that is relatively new, it's called Alignable. We just recently went deep in there, and it's pretty cool, but they give you a lot of options to do some promotions and add your events, and it's a pretty good spot as well for search engine optimization. So if you want to use that as another channel to get more exposure for your newsletters, go for it. Surveys, number 15. So if if you're doing surveys and you're collecting data and you're constantly seeking to get feedback, depending on what kind of feedback and what you're doing, you can always ask that question on the actual survey to ask them, would you like to join our newsletter? Or you can make a button on there that leads to an opt-in as well. But this is a great way, and this is a product that is tied into Constant Contact, so it helps to consolidate the data into one place. Email signature, number 16. Everybody should easily just put a simple link in your email signature that says, join my newsletter. Very straightforward. If you're going to take the time to do a custom signature, you might as well include a couple of extra components in there. I'll show you what mine looks like. So here it is, schedule a call, join our awareness newsletter, and if you're happy with the service, submit a review. And then there's other information as well. Number 17, there definitely is an app for that. So depending on what email marketing provider you're using, you can install an app to your mobile device and use that to collect email addresses while you're networking or just in general. And this is a great way to stay connected. And that way you are avoiding the gap of getting a business card and then probably forgetting that you even had that business card and not even really following up. But a lot of people don't follow up and they just forget. So if you just simply get their contact information immediately, it's in the system, add them to a list, and that's it. It's done. It's finished. And that's a quick way to grow your list as well. I know within Constant Contact, within the United States, there's a text to sign up function where you can establish a little code that can be used for text to sign up, or text to join is what we call it. Easy to use, another creative way for especially people on mobile to use this type of approach on getting subscribers and increasing the growth. I'm not sure if you know this, but in a full year, the industry standard churn rate, which is basically what is the negative growth of your list, it's 30% of your list is going to shrink. Your list is going to shrink by 30% within 1 year. So you have to make sure that you're growing your mailing list by a minimum of 30% just to be able to sustain that that growth. And that means like why people have the 30% churn, or the reason for that. There's a lot of different reasons. Most of it is just bad email addresses, people like changing jobs, going to other companies, so these emails just no longer work. Other obvious reason would be people just simply unsubscribe. They're getting too many communications. Number 19, use a QR code. This one's not my favorite. In general, I just think that they missed the mark on this one. I could be wrong. I just think that it hasn't been widely adopted. A little bit too technical for most people. They're fumbling on trying to find the QR code, or they're not purposing it properly. But if you do use it, great. It works well on print. If you have a brochure and if you configure it so that when people scan that code, it automatically links to a mobilely optimized landing page for capturing information, I think that's a good way to use it. Not saying don't, but I don't think it's most effective. Print, brochures, any print material, always a good idea to incorporate an opportunity to do a call to action, join our newsletter. And again, it's just another channel that you can activate, enable, and do more with. And in print, it's tough to measure the results. It's tough to really know what's going on there unless you have some specific tracking in place. You actually could create unique tracking URLs that lead to your landing page. And by doing that, you can actually see if you hand out 100 brochures and you got 20 clicks and you got 5 signups, well, there's your metric right there. So you can actually calculate to some extent what's going on in that world. But again, on all print materials, work towards on business cards to try and get some engagement taking place beyond just here's my business card. Take it to that next level, incorporate that into your conversation, develop a deeper opportunity or context or relationship with your lead or prospect, vendor, partner. If you're in the restaurant world, use menus and table tents. There's some cool apps as well for iPads. This one is iCapture, and it's cool because it automatically streamlines how people sign up to your newsletter. So it has built-in pre-configured domain names like @Gmail and just common ones. This is a bit of a dated slide, but its newer app has more up-to-date domains in there. But the cool thing about it is that once they've signed up, this then integrates with Constant Contact or any other email provider. And from that, they're automatically added to the list, and it then starts the process over again for the next person to sign up. So if you're at a trade show or you're running an event, this is a great way to capture email addresses quickly, easily, with big buttons. It was purposely designed for that reason. So I think it's really smart. Number 23, we've got the use of packaging. So if you're in the manufacturing business or you're doing a lot of just selling products, then utilize all your packaging opportunities to do that. Selling pizzas, put it on your pizza box. Number 24, we've got event registration. So when you're having people register for any type of an event, I know within Constant Contact, we've got a really cool way to do this where there's an option on the bottom asking for that person who's just going through the process of signing up to your event, would you like to join our newsletter at the same time? Now, here's something else. If you don't get express consent from that user, that audience, in this context here, if that person didn't check that they would like to receive newsletters, you still have implied consent to email them. And implied consent versus express consent are a little different in that implied means, well, the person has disclosed their information to you. So you have you have a relationship with that person, but you don't necessarily have their express permission to indefinitely market to them. So what happens is in Canada, you're given a 2-year window to market to that person, and they can unsubscribe at any time, or they can convert their permission level to express consent. But in this case, even if they don't check that off, you can still remarket to them ongoing. Hopefully that made sense and people understand what I'm talking about. Start a loyalty program. This is another way to amp your game and get a little bit more exclusive, developing a bit more, deepening the relationship with your existing audience. You can use the loyalty program as a great way to engage even prospects or new people to join. And then from that, this is now its own program. And doing so, you'd have the opportunity to send them exclusive offers based on this rewards program, this loyalty program, and it gives you a reason to do more communicating with them more consistently, so on and so forth. So I think it's a great way to, get more email opt-ins. It's another, not excuse, it's another marketing opportunity to diversify how you engage your audience. And don't just create your program and forget about it. This is something that needs attention and care and nurturing. It literally becomes like a sub-brand of your business. So make sure that there's attention. I went to a Best Buy yesterday, and they actually stopped their loyalty program, or they say they still have something in place, but I don't know what it is. So, and it's probably because their loyalty program was not very good and they barely ever communicated with us. Run a birthday club. Encourage people to sign up for your emails by offering birthday incentives. You can incorporate automation with this. So if they sign up to your list, you can automatically send them an annual happy birthday message. And I think that's really effective as well. Everybody loves getting a happy birthday on their birthday from any which way, shape, or form. And I think it's a good idea to, again, it helps build loyalty, helps develop a deeper relationship, a little bit more intimacy. The cool thing about email marketing is that you get that opportunity to do that in this channel. You don't necessarily have that opportunity in social media or paid search, but in email, you can identify who your audience is. You know who these people are, and through their personal information. And I think that's really, really cool to do stuff like that, or an anniversary club. It depends your business model and what you're doing with it. Number 27, experiment with website pop-ups. These can be pretty annoying or very effective, and I think it's important that everyone has a chance to try this out and do something with it. With our website platform, it's incredibly intuitive. It makes WordPress look like I don't even know, like a child. But basically, our website platform does personalization where we can introduce a pop-up for a first-time visitor. And then for a returning visitor, supply them with some other engagement. But ideally, what you're doing with this is you're giving people, again, an opportunity, even on relevant web pages, like if you're on a promotions page or you're on a solution, whatever you're promoting or marketing, ideally what you're looking to do is just capture their information. Because I don't know if you know this term or the bounce rate. A lot of website users will go to a website and then they'll bounce immediately, and that's not good for anybody. So if they're on your website, give them a reason to stay there by incentivizing through a pop-up, which is a call to action for them to get on your newsletter. So smart to do, and it makes sense. Number 28, use online payment forms. So if you're collecting online payments using an online payment form, then you can also include in that a request for them to sign up to your newsletter while they're making a payment for an open invoice. A lot of people probably use QuickBooks. There may be an option for that. We use some of our own built-in payment forms. You can customize questions on these forms and doing it in a way that allows for you to capture that email address. Think of all the opportunities you have and all the engagements that you have, from the phone to payments to all your prints on events, surveys. It's all gearing you back to that singularized focus on growing your newsletter, growing your mailing list, so that you're going way beyond that 30% threshold, so that every year you can get gains from that. Online booking appointments. So if you're doing scheduling and you have the ability to allow someone to schedule you, then let them sign up to your newsletter. You know, we introduced this technology to a long time ago, and it's great. Gives people a chance to, again, sign up to your newsletter while they're booking an appointment with you. And if you think about it, they're already booking a meeting with you. So their propensity to, like, you're already in a relationship with them. Why not just simply ask for their email at the same time regarding signing up to the newsletter? It's important to have the right context around asking for an email address and why you're asking for their email. What are you going to give them in exchange? I'm happy to go through a strategy session with any one of you on how to optimize your conversion around getting those email addresses, coming up with a more compelling offer. A lot of people overlook this, and I think there's a huge mistake in that. I've been in the space for a long time, a market leader, and I think it's really key to make sure that you've got something that's compelling them enough to give you their information. It's like everybody wants that instant gratification. How do I get that right now? And so typically, you know, it would be where you can give them a coupon, you can give them an article or an ebook or something that is worthwhile to them in order for you to, you know, for the exchange to take place. And number 30 is offer an online coupon. So we basically were just talking about that, where you've got an online coupon, and in order to get this coupon, you know, then you need to give us your email address. It's not something you could just print off. So that's another good way. And some of the online coupon systems they have built-in viral technology, or basically the ability to easily share this on social media. So that's good too. It gives you an opportunity to expand your reach and use an easy and simple way to do that. So everybody likes to get a coupon. And that's number 30. So right now, what I'll do is, Jennifer, if you want to publish the link, what I've got for you is another 30 ways to grow your list. So I'm going to give you 60 ways to grow your list for free. It's essentially this presentation, but it's got another 30 ways for you to do this. And you'll be able to download that. There's no email required here. Just simply click on that button, and you'll be able to download that 60 ways to grow your list. As well, there's a little infographic on helping you get prepared for the holiday season and the themes that are coming up in October and beyond. So this is another way to help you get your mind wrapped around what are you going to be marketing. It's a little download that's useful, supplied by our partner, Constant Contact. And that's just a free thing for you to enjoy. So yes, there's a copy of the presentation, very useful. We'll also follow up with some emails to give you these links as well. The other thing too is if you'd like to get a free marketing analytics and performance audit, basically a search engine optimization audit on your website, we'll instantly deliver that to you. And what it's going to do is it's essentially going to score your website health, check performance, look for broken links. It's going to essentially give you awareness around where do you stand on just the overall health of your website. And then we can discuss that further around what to do about it if you're interested. And the last thing I wanted to show you were some examples of some newsletters. So there's the Worldwide Eco Tours newsletter. This is Ruth's company, and there's Japan. That's something we've designed and we manage every single month. We work with Ruth and she helps supply the content and we produce and design and pull it together and make it pretty, and there it is. And there's Benjamin Moore. It's got a nice call to action in there, buy two, get third free. And that's a promo for them. We've been running with several Benjamin Moore dealers for a while now, and we've got a pretty good program running. Just showing you some of the work we've done in this space. We're proud of it. We're award winning. We won an award for Best Integrated Marketing Campaign. No other company has ever won that award within the realm of Constant Contact. I don't know if you know this, but they're a billion-dollar business. There's 10,000 partners. We've been their top-rated partner for 5 years straight, and with over 200 reviews. So we're really, really proud. We're a small business, but we work very hard, very focused on what we do. Here's a couple of opt-in forms. So you can see here, we've got the one for Judith Onley. Join the newsletter, receive a gift, collecting information. Judith likes to acquire location information because she does events in person. So when she does, she can segment. Segmenting is really, really important. The Yoga Studio of Calgary. Again, this is another opt-in form built into their website. Some more on email marketing. So if you want to spend your time on picking up the phone and doing a lot more on servicing clients and let us serve you by doing the newsletters on your behalf, whether we do the copywriting for you or produce it with the copy that you supply, we can do that for you. And we do this for these clients, Los Cholitos in Calgary, the Yoga Studio, and then CF Pi. And CF Pi, you know what? They've been doing email marketing for 15 years, and we got a hold of this client and ultimately ended up transforming their performance. We increased their open rate by 900%. And that's massive because they have a really nice sized mailing list. And then we worked with Pandora Jewelry. Now, not all of their stores, but we work with a dozen of their locations throughout Canada and the United States. And again, we got a hold of them. In fact, I met them at an event. I was doing a keynote talk, and one of the owners came up to me, and we had a great conversation. And you know what? We implemented some change for them, and we ended up increasing their click-through rate by 30,000%. So we built a case study around that. Very happy with the results. So we can guarantee, no matter what you're currently doing, increased results, whether it's open rates or click-through. That I guarantee, because we're masters in this channel, 100%. And I've been doing these seminars for a long time, supporting the overall channel. We're running a couple promos. So if you're interested and you want to take advantage of this, absolutely go for it. It's a smart idea in terms of what we're offering. So if you purchase our email marketing solution, which is our award winner, we'll give you an add-on that is a complete marketing autoresponder automation campaign. So if you look at it from your opt-in perspective, ideally what you want to see happening is people opt into your newsletter and then you automatically trigger a campaign, a series of emails that essentially reduces the sales cycle and rapidly increases engagement for that new prospect. So we will do the add-on for you. We will design a series of emails. It depends on our strategy. We might do 3, we might do 5 emails with its own customized template, visual design, and we'll even include the copywriting. So if you purchase our all-inclusive email marketing solution, then you're going to unlock that autoresponder campaign for free. It's a really cool way to maximize your ROI within that email marketing channel. And if you're looking for consulting, foundational business consulting, and you're looking for a new vision for your business, or you want to refine your mission, your values, you're looking for clarity and further awareness on how you're going to grow, scale, and develop your business further, this is our one solution. And this has been in the marketplace for a long time. This is a consulting service that I supply, and it's a unique product that I developed after leaving IBM Corporation. I don't know if you know that, but back in 2000, I was the manager of the innovation task force and also a senior sales consultant supplying solutions to the White House and Yale and Harvard and SFU and just a variety of United States institutions. And after leaving IBM, I developed the one solution. So this is a really cool way for you to reinvigorate your overall business strategy. So the promo is essentially $400 off. And that's my presentation for you today. What I'm leaving you here with is some of my contact information. I can field some questions. So if you have a question that you want to ask, just go ahead and ask that in either the chat window, or I can unmute you. I'm not going to unmute everybody because it'll probably get noisy. So if you have a question, you can use the chat. If you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand, or you can use the yes button that's inside of your participant panel list or your chat list. So does anybody have any questions? Or are you, I'm going to do is it safe to assume you're all masters at email marketing and list growth? I'm sure there's at least one question out there. And if you don't have a question now, you can always ask one after through email or call. Jennifer, can you also supply the booking link to the audience so that they can book a call with me? Okay, so what I'm inviting you to do is, at the very least, book a call with me. It's free. We'll do a marketing audit. We'll find out where you're at and how we can help you get to your goals. And that's all I've got for you today. Again, we're going to be doing this every single month. I'm grateful that you are all here. And if you're interested in any of our promos, just reach out. We'll probably do a little bit of follow-up with you. We won't bug you, we promise. But we do want to hear back. And that's it. So thank you very much for participating on our webinar for today. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you in the future. All right. Thank you.